welcome to Faithful Grace Studio. I'm Mindy. I'm the creator here at Faithful Grace. And today we're looking at creating junk journals out of magazines. You can get started with this process several different ways. You can do the thrift stores and the recycling centers and find magazines people have tossed away. You can use magazines that you have around the house that you're through with. Tap into your network, ask the people in your world to save their old magazines for you. It's not hard to come across cheap magazines or free magazines. Even at the thrift stores, you can usually pick them up for a quarter or sometimes 50 cents at the most. Some of the more coffee table type magazines might be 75 cents or $1, but even at that, that's $1 for the base of what's going to turn out to be a work of art. So think about that. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through. I have 3 here that I'm going to show you. I do use Daphne's Diary a lot. Some of you may be familiar with Daphne's Diary. This one is Daphne's Diary 1. I'll show you that in a minute. But I also use any kind of magazine, but I like the kinds of magazines that don't have the shiny paper. I prefer a matte paper. I prefer the feel. I prefer the look. And these country living magazines, these are specialty magazines that they publish periodically. They're from the UK. This one is Modern Rustic. This one is Vintage Home. They just have different specialty versions of the country living magazine that they put out every now and then. And I just absolutely adore the feel of the paper. This one, as you can see, I got a little carried away. It's a little big, but I just thought I would kind of walk you through it, and then we'll flip through these others pretty quickly. But basically, I go through first and kind of decide which pieces I want to keep. So I'll walk you through. I'll show you. There's a lot of pages in here. I mean, these are just the regular pages. These are the pages that were in there. I covered up some things, some of the text that I didn't want to see. I added a little flower there, but these were some pretty pages that were already in here that I just kept. That is pure magazine right there. Nothing but what was already in the magazine. So I go through and I decide which pages I want to leave, which pages have something intriguing or lots of white space for writing, and then I take out the pages that I don't want to keep. And usually out of the pages that I tear out, there's some piece of it that I may want to keep. Like, for instance, this piece right here and one of these other pieces, I'm not sure exactly which piece, was on one of the pages that I tore out. It was just the one area that I kind of wanted to keep. And then I just kind of go through and cover up anything that I want to not show. I don't want there to be a bunch of magazine words and things in here, because that's not what this is for. So I'll go through, I'll gather up the colors or the theme or the type of things that I want to put in that particular magazine. I was staying a little neutral, a little woodsy, warming kind of coloring with this one, not too bright and bold, just because that's kind of the nature of this magazine in the first place. So I added a magazine picture. This one does have is the shiny magazine, but I kind of balance off that shiny with this matte picture of my aunt and uncle, my godparents here. I just love them. I miss them. So I do kind of like the combination of the truly matte with a little bit of shine. Just covered up some things here that were magazine words. Here is one of the, I think I've shown you this a time or two before. This is one of those zipper pouches that you get, like, sometimes you get socks or underwear or swimsuits, things like that that you order online. A lot of times they will come in a zippered plastic bag. And they're usually pretty sturdy, and I keep those bags, and for use in my journals, I will just cut off the zipper part. It only goes down about right there, so I cut off just, you know, that much of it, and then glue it between 2 pages, and now I have a zipper pouch in my journal that I can put something in and zip shut. So I do that a good bit. These are just some pieces, piece of this actually I think came out of a Daphne's Diary magazine. I just kind of cut it in half and put some tabs on it, and now it's kind of a hiding spot for something I may want to journal or sketch or something like that. So just whatever you want, whatever is pleasing to you. Probably going to reside next to my chair in the living room. And it just has, you know, a lot of woodsy, neutral, kind of pretty things in it. I covered up a outdoor barbecue grill here with a pretty piece of scrap from scrapbook paper. Here's a belly band. We got a bookmark. We got a journal card here. This is a little bookmark that I had stuck in there just for whatever. This is just a fold up. It's just a piece of scrap paper that I folded in accordion style, put in there, put a tab on it. Now I can write notes on either side, little things like that. So just however you want it to look. I do try to kind of make the pages match or blend when I can. This is a piece out of a children's book that I dismantled because it was coming apart, but I like the animals on this side, and I like that it talked about baby zebras on this side because zebras are special to me for several reasons, and that's a conversation for another day. But I just glued it into the spine so that it added another page, and I can refer back to it and enjoy reading it when I flip through. Got a little flip through here. This old index card just costs a little to use it as a little flip through. Just collage some things in here. Here's a vellum pocket. This is a piece of an old paper doily. Here's some little ephemera pieces, just a little. So you can do whatever you want here. And as you can see, there's not. Oh, look, this was a piece that came out of an old book, old photo album, and I just wanted to keep it. So it's kind of almost glued in, but not quite glued in. But I just liked it. I liked the way it sounds, and I like that you can see through it. Took one page and folded it over. Now I've got a little tuck spot here. Got a little belly band here. Another bookmark. So just whatever you want. I mean, there's no rules here whatsoever. This was a cover of a junk journal. This is actually from the Beautiful Chaos junk journal kit in my shop. I had printed 2 covers by accident, and then I was like, well, I don't need this cover, so I just kind of cut it a little differently and folded it together, and it's a little note spot in this journal, in this magazine journal. So just, it really, there's no rules. You can put whatever you want in here. I have just got this one tied with this piece of fabric that was, this actually came out of one of the chindi rugs that I dismantled a while back. You guys have heard me talk about that a lot. I dismantled one. I bought 2. I dismantled one and got this huge box full of scraps. So I haven't dismantled the other one. I've kept it because I keep thinking I might want to at some point. But if you do something like that to get some of this fabric, these fabric scraps, one will give you so much more fabric than you can ever even imagine. All right, so there's that one. This one I just have bound together with this pen holder, so my pen stays close by. This one's a little different feel, a little more fun, a little more vibrant, but still just no rules. Just put a paper doll in there and cut her out. Here's another one of my slider pockets. Put some lace in this one, some tea-dyed lace. And this one had a lot of scenes that I liked, that I left. So this one's a somewhat thick. There's a lot of pages in here that I really loved. I love anything with old quilts on it and seashells and things like that. So just lots of things in here that I kept, and I just covered up what I didn't want to see anymore. So you can just do whatever you want to. I covered up some things behind there that were not my favorite. A lot of this was the same. In the magazine originally, I put some washi tape down the side, a little washi tape here just to kind of add some fun. This was a piece I added to make some notes on. But the rest of this was in the magazine. So this allows you to have, that was in the magazine. These pages were in the magazine, except for this little flip out. I wanted to make some notes about this scene right here, so I put this little flip out to make some notes on. Just used a piece of cardstock printed with something. I don't know where that came from, but just use that to kind of be a tab. No rules. Here's another one of those accordion fold outs. Here's a little pad of sticky notes, because I knew that there would be a lot of places in here where I would want to make a note and put it in a specific place. So this is one made with the magazine, and as I was saying, I'm sorry I keep getting distracted, but by using a magazine, especially one that's meant to be somewhat coffee table-ish, like one of these Country Living ones, or a Daphne's Diary, or something like that. There's so much prettiness in those magazines to start with, so much quote-unquote art, that you can capture that and use that to your advantage and not have to embellish so much. So with the Daphne's Diary magazine, there's often a lot of things on the front that I already love. Most of this is already here. This was already here. This was already here. The only word I covered up was I don't even know what the word was, but I just changed it to vision. But creative inspiration, stickers, vintage, recipes, mindfulness, all of those are things that I use journals for anyway. This talks about salvaging. So then I just covered up the Daphne's Diary logo at the top. I have so many Daphne's Diaries, and I always love the front cover and the back cover, no matter what. No matter what the inside is like, I love them. So I always keep them, even if I don't keep the actual whole magazine. I always keep pieces of it, and the pieces that I always keep are the front cover and the back cover, no matter what. So this was the front cover of this magazine. This is number 2 from 2025. So from earlier this year, I guess. But this is a piece of a cover from 2022. Number 1 from 2022. And it just provides a little fold out. So a little another little place. Tuck spot here, placed her right here. Here's a little kitty cat that I had made that I had laying around, and I just kind of stuck her in here. She can swish her tail. Just covered up left the things that I wanted to see, covered up the things that I didn't. This is actually a glassine pouch. This is just so much fun. I have so much fun with these. Even some of the things that I've covered things up with, like she was already in here, but then I added her, but she is from another Daphne's Diary. And so are these pieces. I'm not sure about that piece, but so just there's no rules. That's what I'm trying to make sure that you get. You can do whatever you want to with these. Here's another one of the zipper pouches. I mean, there's just no limit to what you can do here. I just added another piece of paper there. I mean, it's just so much fun to do these. And here at the back, I've got 3. This is the back cover of this magazine, but here's 2 other pieces of back covers or front covers. Maybe front covers. No, these are back covers. That I liked the scenery on, the designs on. So I just put them in here and put little tabs on them, so I knew that I could open them up. So use your imagination, use what you have, use magazines, use old books, use old ledgers. They don't have to be clean, they don't have to be empty, they don't have to be neat, because you can cover them up to any degree that you choose. So what I have here that cost me next to nothing are 3 wonderful journals that will bring me hours of joy looking through them and making notes and sketching and all that kind of stuff. I hope you've enjoyed looking through these junk journals made from magazines, and I hope you enjoy making your own.